Okay, so the other video cut off. My apologies. This is part two to my comic book haul today for July the 6th. And before I continue, I just want to show this book. This is a freebie that was in the was only available in comic book shops. Before I get into the second part of the video, I have to say that again that this video is intended for adults only. This is part of the Marvel Universe campaign for their Empire series, and again, it's free. Magazine features everything you need to know about Marvel's epic Clash of Titans Empire. Exclusive Captain Marvel number 18. Carol Danvers is now the Supreme Accuser. Oh wow, that's interesting. And then Avengers number 1, Earth's Mightiest Heroes stranded in the tundra. And here's some of the pages from in the book. You know, and only Marvel does this stuff. I don't know why DC has never done anything like that. Look at that artwork, man. DC hardly ever offers anything free. And now that they parted ways with Diamond Comics, you know, God knows what they're going to do. God knows if they know what they're doing, you know, and I hate to say that. You know, I really do. I don't like to talk down or dog, you know, any of the comic book franchises, because I know it's very hard, first of all, you know, to get their sales that they want, get the books out there, and, you know, promote them, and the artists and the writers have put a hell of a lot of work into these books. But anyway, and then here's the checklist of books that anyone who's interested in collecting this series needs to know about. You know, a lot of nice pages here and beautiful artwork and the contributors to this story and various tie-ins. I can't say I'm going to get all the tie-ins, definitely. I doubt if I'll be doing that. But yeah, look at this. Very nice for them to offer this. And again, it's free for anyone who's interested in collecting the story and wanting to get into the story, you know, about the tie-ins, the major plot points, the characters who will be involved. Here's a premiere of X of Swords. That is very nice there, too. Jonathan Hickman. Very nice. All right. Empire Captain Marvel number 18. So I'm just showing you this. You can pick this up at any local comic book shop. Again, it's free. All right, it says it right there. All right, so let's continue with this comic book haul where I left off at, which was with the DC Comics, who I just got through talking about. And again, I'm not dogging DC. DC has some good books out, man, and this is one of them here from their Black Label series. And their Black Label series has been pretty much for the most part excellent. Which is usually a darker take on their stories and characters. This is Wonder Woman Dead Earth number 1. And as I indicated in the part 1 of this comic book haul, that I had part 3 of this book, but I didn't have the first 2 books. And I picked them up today. This is my first time inside of a comic book shop, and that happened to be Vault of Midnight in Detroit. Here's book number 2 of Wonder Woman Dead Earth. And these are written by Daniel Warren Johnson. I've heard good reviews of this. This was recommended from Rockin' Robbie Billups from Comic Book Philosophers. And so I went ahead and picked these up. But it's a post-apocalyptic type situation and a lot of ironic situations happening amongst one of our favorite DC characters. Okay? All right. So that's books 1 and 2. And then we get into book 4. I didn't think I was going to get this book, man, because this ended right before the shutdown. This is Joker Harley, book number 4, Criminal Insanity. I was very fortunate to get it. There were two different, or there's several different, I think, iterations of this cover. But this is one that really struck me. This is written by Cami Garcia with contributors Jason Bador. I hope I'm not chopping up that name. Miko Sayan and Annette Kwok. Book number 4, also on DC's Black Label of Joker Harley, Criminal Insanity. So now I finally got the complete series. So happy about that. And now, last but not least, a book that's been a long time waiting that I am so very proud to have in my collection. And I'm nearly almost jumping up and down for joy to get this. My very first omnibus from Marvel Comics, Annihilation. It's taken me 10 years to get this book. It's been in and out of print. I think twice it's been canceled. They canceled it. And this is the third time I think that it's finally in print. And I finally was able to pick it up again at Vault of Midnight in Detroit. They only had one copy on the shelf, man. It's an expensive book, as omnibuses are. But I'm just very fortunate to have it. I'll tell you a brief story. I was at Comic Con, the Motor City Comic Con, about 5 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago, when Stan Lee was alive. And Stan Lee was there. And this book, I was looking for it. And a young lady, I was talking to somebody about something, I don't know what it was, and a young lady stepped up in front of me, walked up to one of the comic book vendors, and had this in her hand. And I was so pissed because I was like, "This is a book This was my main reason, aside from seeing Stan Lee, that I came to Comic Con for, and it was the only one in the entire facility. And Motor City Comic Con, I'm not sure if you've ever been there, is at the Rock Financial Building in Novi, Michigan. Is huge, so they have several vendors there, and this was the only one of all the vendors that they had. But I got it. Finally, I am extremely excited. I didn't really have it in my budget to get because my budget's kind of tight right now, but I got it. I had to get it, and because I don't know when it will be in print again. I know that cheapgraphicnovels.com had it, but they sold out of it too. And that was recommended to me by Omar from his YouTube channel over at Mint. What is it called? Near mint condition, or near mint, something like that. Near mint. You know what I'm talking about. Omar. If you've ever seen his channel. Cool guy. Great channel. He's one of the best comic book collectors I've ever seen. But anyway, I have the book now. I'm extremely excited about it. This is definitely going in my collection. Again, this is my first omnibus ever. I have trade paperbacks, hardcovers, and of course single prints. But yeah, Annihilation. Yay! But then also want to spread some, get some news that Marvel recently announced that they will be adopting the Alien Predator books. Dark Horse Comics for the past 20 years has been printing them. Here's one right here. And you know that Disney has bought out 20th Century Fox, so they'll actually be printing the Alien Predator books now. I'm not sure if I'm happy about that because I really prefer them under Dark Horse Comics, which has no restrictions in terms of language, criteria, and characters and situations with their books, whereas Disney does, because they mainly try to cater towards younger audiences and children. We'll see how that turns out. So I'm not really excited about that news, but we'll see what happens. Just like with their takeover of Star Wars, which they also took from Dark Horse Comics. And I've always thought Dark Horse Comics has had the best prints on when it comes to Star Wars. Anyway, that's it. That's all, y'all. This is the highlight of my collection here. I hope that you watch both videos, that you've enjoyed them. Stay safe, stay healthy, wash your hands, read a comic book. Happy Comic Book Wednesday. Peace, love, and hair grease.